Does submission have a role in 50-50 relationships?
Hell no. Here go this submission word again.
Hell yeah.
How do we submit? How do I submit to you 50% of the time? I don't make it make sense. What is
So-
this? Is it on Tuesdays?
Okay.
What's happening?
Who wants to go first?
I'll kick it off. So,
Go ahead.
I think I'm in a 50-50 relationship. So I think I got the right answer for this. I think submission has a role on both parts. I think both parties have to submit in order for it to be 50-50, right? I submit to her about the things that she's more knowledgeable about, and she submits to me about the things that I'm more knowledgeable about. And that's the only way it's going to work, because I respect her enough, I trust her enough to submit to her about the things that she's more knowledgeable about. It's just logic, common sense. If she knows more about something, I'm going to submit to her. If I know more about something, she's going to submit to me, and that's the only way that's going to work. Now, both parties have to put their ego to the side, and just because I'm a man, no, I don't think I have the final say about everything. I have the final say about things that I know about, and that she knows, and that she trusts me about. It's never been a time where we had a big decision to make, and we had a fallout or argument about who's going to decide on what. We just both came to a mutual agreement about the things, because, I mean, it's just, I guess you for one, you have to know your partner, and you have to trust your partner. And the fact that I know her and she knows me, she knows my weaknesses, she knows my strengths, I know hers. And you have to be very vulnerable about these things, right? In order to get to know each other, to be able to come to a point in your relationship where you can submit to someone. So, but I do think it has a big role in a 50-50 relationship. And I think that's the only way it can be a 50-50 relationship, because both parties would have to submit.
Okay. So would that change for you if let's say the man was, because usually we talk about women submitting to men, right? So if the man is providing 100%, do you think that submission looks different? Does the man not submit at all anymore?
So
Does the woman have to now submit, I guess,
no,
in everything? Like what does that look like? Because you said something a little different in your
well, so 50-50 relationship is 50-50 relationship. So the money aspect of it really doesn't mean anything, right? Because I know the woman that I'm with, without even making a dollar, she's still bringing another 50 to the table. So she's going to provide in our household more ways than just finances, right? She's going to probably cook, clean, be supportive of me, and all these other things that she can, that's valued. And I think a lot of people don't value a lot of the other things that beside after money, right? So I think a lot of people think money is just like the power. And if you got the money, then you have the power. And if you're in a relationship, you know that's not the case at all. You can just tell by all these famous rich people, and they've been getting divorced after divorce, infidelity. So what does this money actually mean? Nothing. It's not. It's just a way for you to try to control somebody. But a person, you can only control somebody for so long. Everybody's going to get fed up with that. It's just like an animal. You step on their neck. As soon as you take that foot off their neck, they go get you. So you can try to buy somebody's love and affection, and you can try to buy your way, by your controlling ways, but it's just not going to work. And you just have to be a real man or a real woman to acknowledge that, and to accept a person and for what they have to offer. And I know my wife has, if she didn't make a dime, I know she's bringing to the table more value than just money. So it's not about the money when it comes to me. Now I know other men, they think that, and that's a whole nother conversation with the that misogynistic way of thinking, and that's probably the only way they know how to bring something to the table is with money. You know, that emotional aspect of the relationship, that mental aspect of the relationship really doesn't mean anything to them because they weren't brought up that way. So of course they go think, okay, I brought the money to the table. That's my 100%. Now I don't even think they think it's 50%. They think it's 100%. You know, and that's why they think they control something. But that's the money is nothing because a woman can go out and work. Women now are making more money than men. They're on the rise. They're coming up. So, and I think that's a big problem with the way the feud between men and women now. Men are not handling that the women are not depending on them for money these days, and that we have to bring more than just money to the table. It's just not, oh, I'm paying the bills, now do what I say, or I'm paying the bills so I get to call all the shots. It's none of that because women are bringing money to the table too.
Yeah. Rashad, you wanted to add something. What are your thoughts?
So again, submission can be looked at in several different ways. I personally don't like the word submission because it can be, taken in different kind of ways. But I guess it goes back to something we've talked about before. And I know something, commonly talked about in, relationship circles. It's like the leader and then I guess the person who supports the leader. I don't know another term for it. The way I like to look at it, like I said, it's like president or vice president, something like that. Both equal respect, but I guess like in my experiences, and I guess what I see the most is like when it comes to the word submit or president, vice president, supporter, leader, whatever, it all comes down like, okay, if there's a decision that needs to be made and both the man and woman are on opposing ideas of this decision, who makes the final decision and why? So I think in any situation, any setting or whatever, like if it's work, you don't have like there's a supervisor, then subordinates and stuff like that. And that's how things are set up. You can't really have quote unquote two leaders because at the end of the day, if there's headbutting, you have to pick left or right. And you have to go with whoever that is. To me, it does not matter if it's the man or woman at all. That like gender has nothing to do with it. I will say in my experience, and again, what I see, I think it usually is men because a lot of women say that's what they want. They want the man to lead. And also, again, men, I would say leading in an emotional or nurturing or whatever aspect might not be as efficient as leading in a more, I guess, logical aspect. And like, again, men tend to be more logical. Women tend to be more emotional. So that being said, I would say like, yeah, whoever is the more logical person in the relationship should be the one leading versus leading with, feeling, emotion, and things like that. Even though both are important and both are necessary to make a relationship work, to make any, partnership work of any sort. But yeah, there needs to be someone who makes the final decision and someone to support it. Now, like, again, in my experience in a relationship, I'm engaged, like stuff like that headbutting, that like, I want to go left, you want to go right. That doesn't happen often, but it does happen in most relationships. And when that happens, like, I think there needs to be kind of like an understood person, like, okay, we're going to go off of what this person says because like, we're following his or her blueprint. So that's been my experience. And I think that from what I see works for most people or would work for most people.
See, I feel like it's always different strokes for different folks. I was serious when I said no, but also, Darwin and Cannon, their relationship is beautiful. Y'all do your thing, however y'all want to do it. But for me, it's a little, I don't know. The whole submissive thing and 50-50, it just seems like an oxymoron to me to go together because 50-50 sounds like we have an understanding already. We're just communicating. But submission, it's a whole different act of vulnerability. It's a whole different, it's a whole different behavior set. For my husband, I submit to him. I put his uniform out for work. Put my uniform out for work. And I'm not looking for him to put my uniform out for work. But it's just different things that I submit to him by doing that I don't look for in return, per se. But, he still does plenty of other things that, I don't know.
But Raven, is that submission though or serving?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Submission will be, helping out with his plan. His plan is to be a master tech. My job, I guess, or helpmate role, make sure the, least stressful path to fulfilling that role. The things I want to do in my life as far as being a nanny and whatnot. Oh.
Sorry. Go ahead. What was the last part you said?
No, I was gonna say, as far as being a nanny and everything else, those that doesn't necessarily rank supreme. You know, he may help out sometimes, but it isn't like master teching is at the forefront. You know, getting the goal toward master teching is at the forefront. Nannying is, you know, I'm still able to do those things, but it's not the goal for the family unit, is what I'm saying. And so that's why when people say 50-50 and submission, you know, if you guys are going to do your relationship in a different manner, then I can't tell you to submit. I don't even know what that means, what that looks like in that situation. But for ours, if you're going to help your man or the head of your household achieve a goal, you got to submit to whatever that goal is. And hopefully you picked well. And hopefully the goal is not smoke crack, you know? So, but I don't know. It just always sounds strange to hear 50-50 and submit. It's just, I don't understand it. It's just
Okay.